what Tom Aspinall had put out was that Jon Jones should be stripped of his heavyweight title and that Aspinall should be recognized as the heavyweight champion and that his next fight should be with the real title on the line because Jon Jones is in a position not to fight, so Dana should take the title. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Read it.
So John puts out on X, I faced the absolute toughest competition this world had to offer for 15 years now. During camp for title defense, I sustained a major injury that required surgery for the first time in my career. Now I have newcomers requesting I get my championship stripped. 0 wins over legends, 0 title defenses, and already thinking you can call the shots to Dana. That's hilarious. In my 15-year career, I have seen so many guys who are supposed to be the next big thing. There's ever only been one, Jon Jones. Never forget that. Tom Aspinall responds, you're right. Sorry, John.
Okay. First off, let's talk about Jon Jones's response. Many times John goes off and says stuff that you go, stop saying that. It was correct. It was to the point. There was nothing in there that was out of line. It was perfect. And he was right because he got hurt training for a title fight. Shit happens, especially as you get older. The chances of you getting hurt, they're more, and that's why you got to train a little smarter. I'm not saying he wasn't training smart, but he got hurt training for a title fight. Okay. And it's only because he got hurt that Tom Aspinall is now the interim heavyweight champion. Okay. But to sit there and say, oh, he should be stripped. No, that was a bad take. And I will give Tom Aspinall all the credit in the world. I love your take in response of, you're right. Sorry. Okay, I'll take it because he was right. And you did the right thing in saying, you know what? I screwed up. I shouldn't have said that.
His take on Jon Jones being stripped was as bad as Bad Take McCarthy. It was that bad.
You guys also got to understand that there's a little bit of like British humor in the way Tom's writing this. This is a very British like humor kind of approach. Yeah.
Explain it to me. Explain us the British humor.
You're saying this right here that you're right. Sorry, John, is British humor?
It's a little sarcasm. There's a
I'm not saying
sarcasm, but
there's not some.
Yeah, it's
but it's absolutely correct.
British people find this kind of thing funny because they're like, haha, like you folded, but like you didn't really mean it. Like you're just kind of it's sarcastic, and there's I don't even know how to explain it. It's a British thing. You need to like be British, and you need to have grown up there to kind of get this. But
yeah, well, that ain't
British people in the comments.
Why I don't get it.
British people in the comments to like tell me you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Tell me you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. You're gonna have nobody say. I have no fucking clue what you were saying, Dave.
Well, here's gonna hit.
Can I? A couple things. Jon Jones put this perfectly.
Yeah.
Said everything he said was factual. There was no lies. There was nothing out of line, like you said. It was very eloquently put. Like I thought he did a great job in his response. I respect the way he responded. I think it's very admirable. I think it was perfectly put. To move on to this, though, in terms of, I don't think he should be stripped. I want to make sure this is clear before I speak on moving forward. But can I throw this out there just for a quick second?
Sure.
Does anyone believe that Jon Jones needs to have a title for us to tune in to watch him fight? So I'm just saying, even if he didn't have the title, I would still tune in and want to see that as a main event on a pay-per-view, him and Stipe. And Tom Aspinall could still be the champion, but I would still tune in to watch this fight. Like, I guess what I'm trying to say is, are we really saying, like, if Conor McGregor comes back, I don't need to see him as a champion. If Khabib comes back, I don't need to see him as a champion. I'm still paying my $79 or $89, whatever it is these days.
87.
All right? Yeah, I'm still paying that $87 to watch Khabib fight or to watch Conor fight or to watch Jon Jones fight. I'm still paying that money. You know, I don't need this. I don't need to see a belt wrapped around his waist to realize that Jon Jones fucking probably the GOAT, or is the GOAT to many people. I don't need to see that. If the UFC said Tom Aspinall is the champion, I'm still going to see Jon Jones and Stipe fight no matter what happens and when that happens. I don't need a title to be wrapped around that either one of them. I admire Stipe. I love what he's doing right now. This is a great fight. I'd love to see him fight Jon Jones. I'm tuning in. I'm paying my money to honor those two guys. These two guys are legends in the sport, and I think they deserve that. Like, I don't need to see a belt wrapped around their waist. So it's not idea for me. It's not out of the. It wouldn't be. It doesn't mean shit to me. I guess what I'm saying. I wouldn't care if Dana said, you know what, we are going to strip John, but I'm still going to see the Stipe and the Jon Jones fight. That's still going to happen. And Tom's going to be the champion. He's going to represent the heavyweight division because probably both of them may retire after that fight.
They may.
If John plans on, exactly. If John plans on going on, then I guess I understand that. I get keeping him as a champion. Then he'll fight Tom Aspinall next. But John's come out and said that he's probably just going to try to beat Stipe and he's going to just ride off into the sunset. And then what's the point of the belt other than just to say that he defended it the 100th time? I guess.
Normally
this one the first time
comes down. This would be the first defense of the heavyweight title, and so
first defense is always the most important.
That's it.
Yeah, I can see that. I don't know. Like I said, I want to just give credence to the fact that I wouldn't care if there was a belt involved. I'd still tune in to watch.
You wouldn't care, and I wouldn't care. But how many people do you know are out there that would say something to the effect of, "Well, yeah, Jon Jones, he got the heavyweight title, but he never defended it."
That's true. The casuals.
Okay.
Casuals.
And you look and you go, really? That's what you're going to go off of? But
I want people to take note that John, you and I are here right now sticking up for Jon Jones.
Jon Jones, baby.
You and I are here sticking up for the UFC. And we're trying to say, like, hey, I don't need to see a title wrapped around his waist or Stipe's waist again to watch that fight and to pay the $89 or $87. I get it in HD, so it's probably $89.
But what's the right thing to do then? With that said, what's the right thing? Is the right thing just keep the belt on John, or is the right thing based on the length of his injury?
The right thing is to keep the belt on John.
Okay,
that's the right thing to do.
Let's be. I'm not putting anything against Tom Aspinall. I think Tom Aspinall is the future. I think he's fantastic. I think he's funny. I think he's got a great personality. The son of a bitch can fight his ass off, and I think he's going to be the guy that's there in the UFC heavyweight division for a long time, as long as he doesn't get hurt, and that can happen. That's not his fault. Same as it wasn't John's fault. The guy who is considered the best heavyweight that ever fought in the UFC is a guy that didn't have that many fights in Cain Velasquez. He just got hurt a lot.
Yeah.
And so it can happen. But when you're looking at this situation, look at Tom Aspinall has a belt that's the interim title. We've already gone through this how many times? Now, Dave doesn't understand what an interim title is, but an interim title is something that the promotion puts out there just so they can have a championship fight because they have a contract.
A championship fight?
Yeah.
So it's a championship fight, even though it's not a championship?
An interim championship fight.
Just making sure.
Interim. There's that word before it. It's interim. And if you see, like, if they have an interim champion, like they have in Tom Aspinall, and they have a champion like they have in Jon Jones, they'll put the C above the IC.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason why. When they introduce these guys, if Jon Jones was going to fight Tom Aspinall is going in there as the champion. He's going in there as the challenger. Jon Jones is the champion. That's the way it works. There is no, as soon as he steps in there, there's no interim championship. That's gone.
This is your show. This is your propaganda. I'm just kidding. You're right, John. You're right.
I love that one.
You're right.
This is your propaganda. I like it. Thank you very much, Dave.
I was waiting for Dave to give the.
I know. I was so
response.
I'm so
right. Sorry, John.
I'm so disappointed that he goes, "This is your show. This is your propaganda."
I was waiting for the "You're right." Sorry, John. I mean, look. Yeah, I thought that I'm excited to see the Stipe and the Jon Jones fight. You have two legends that are going to be fighting. Like I said, but I don't need to see a title wrapped around their waist. And I also think that Tom Aspinall, him being the interim champ, that what confuses, I think, people is if he's the interim champ, why are we doing the Stipe fight then? Why doesn't Stipe fight Tom Aspinall then, and then Stipe fights around, and if he wins, then he fights Jon Jones? that's kind of that. Then that's where people are getting a little confused with what's going on. Why are we allowing this to happen where Stipe gets to continue to sit out? It's because he's the greatest heavyweight of all time, given the most title defenses. That's why.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna stick up for Stipe in the situation.
Yeah, if you're gonna go off of title defenses, he's had more than anybody else holding that belt.
Yep. And certain fighters have paid their dues. And when they paid their dues long enough and they've done what the promotions asked them for multiple years, look, these are things that we should be able to grant them on their farewell fights or whatever it is, what they wanted to do to end their career. I think it's warranted. So Tom's going to have to wait. He may have to defend that title, that interim title one time. Maybe he defends on the same card. And if one of them gets hurt, he can step in and fight the winner, or the fighter on there. Maybe that might be a great suggestion. Then you have the two of them face off. Look at me over here trying to do things.
Look at you.
All right.
Matchmaking.